Yeah, you're done. And I freaked out. As soon as we were let out of our cells, I ran out there. I went up to every inmate in there. I said, hey, what's my name? What's my name? Spell my name. And every single person said, it's Finn. B-O-N-G-D. This whole time I thought this something victory.
Dude, funny
I
as
find
fuck.
out my entire legacy that I left behind after 10 years in prison. And forever behind is just done. My first day of working
That
my
was funny.
prison job, I had been assigned
Prison shot caller, prison boss, whatever you like to call them, that's what we're going to be speaking on today. Now, I don't know if shot caller or prison boss is trending right now.
At Checkers and Rallies, we're ready to elevate your spring game for just $1.99. Introducing the...
I was nearly beaten to death in prison. The story starts in 2016. I was at Ridgeland Correctional Institution in South Carolina. The main character of our story today is an inmate who went by the name PL. Now, PL, come to find out, stood for prison life. I remember thinking, man, that's a terrible nickname. I would not want my name to just be defined by a life in prison, and he didn't have life in prison. But I learned about PL that his name came from the fact that since a child, up until his age now, in one way or another, he had been in some form of institution. The entire time, whether it was a foster home as a child, then on up to boarding school or some type of boot camp, juvenile center, jail, prison. He had always been in an institution, and not only was he, I think he had 8 more years left to serve in this South Carolina State Prison at the time. After he finished that, he wasn't even going to be able to go home. He was going to be sent to North Carolina to do another sentence that he had awaiting him in that state. So I did understand the name at that point. Now, the thing about PL also, he was covered from the top of his head to his feet in tattoos. Not just tattoos, but the old prison jailhouse gang tattoos. I mean, he had gang tats on his head, the crown, the back, the neck, his forehead, under his eyes, even his eyelids were tattooed, all the way down, his hands to his fingertips. And you could tell these had all been done in prison because they had this kind of, he was covered in this, all these tats that had this blue tint to them. And you could tell it was some homemade, prison-made ink that he had gotten all these tattoos with. His eyes, I'm sure in reality they were just maybe a very dark brown, but probably due to just a little bit of trauma that sticks with me from this experience that I would have with this guy. When I think back on this memory and the memory of him, I just remember him having these black, pitch black eyes. And this is what I looked like. At the time, I was 23 years old. That's what I looked like, maybe all of 145 pounds. And funny enough, PL at that time, I was 23, he was about 28, 29, which is just under the age I am now. I'm 30, and he actually was kind of the size I am now. I'm 6 feet tall. He was maybe an inch bigger, so he was about 6'1", and I'm 215, 220 pounds, and that's about what he was. So at the time, it was a pretty good difference of size, but all in all, he was a pretty big boy. He was a pretty rough-looking character. That's my point. And really, he kind of reminds me of some gruff, grizzled old biker gang guy, except he's not a old guy. He's a young guy. That's just how he looked, to give a good description of him. But he wasn't in some biker gang. He was in a prison gang. And he had a very, very notorious reputation. He was known for stabbing other inmates, and not just stabbing other inmates. He was not picky and choosy about who he would stab. And that is a thing, because there's a lot of inmates who will, they're only going to stab, or they try to go stab someone who's easy pickings, not much of a threat, or they probably are 99% sure that they're going to be able to do that without much fight back or blowback from whoever they've chosen.
Hey, babe, which one of these slushies is
They
ours?
wouldn't do that with just anybody. They'd be a bit tougher inmate. These guys wouldn't do that. And they do that.
Monique,
It is kind of a bad.
which one of these is ours?
It is strong.
Which one of these slushies is ours?
You will use a knife, and
We don't have a slushie.
it is a thing.
Oh, them are the kids?
But the thing about PL, he definitely didn't do that. If anything, he probably won't even waste his time unless you're an actual threat.
What's up, Sherry?
He will stab some pretty rough guys and some other serious threats. So that stood out about him. But not only that, some guys, they'll stab because they can't fight. Some guys will fight and they can fight well. But hey, I'm just not with the knife stuff, not really my style. I don't want to take that risk. I just like to fight. PL would do both. And not only would he fight, he could fight pretty good. So that's what he was known for. And it's not often, I'll just be honest with you, in my prison system, the way it worked and the way it was, it's very, very rare that generally an entire cell block is going to be intimidated.
In the fastest racing on two wheels, it's the Moto America Permco Superbikes at Mid-Ohio, August 16th through the 18th.
It definitely has been overwhelming.
Or have a little bit of fear of a white inmate, a white boy.
Never really imagined.
And the fact that everyone, pretty much nobody was going to mess with PL. PL could do what he wanted. PL didn't follow the rules, and I don't mean the prison rules that the staff has. I mean the rules of the cell block, the rules of prison, the unwritten rules, the rules of his own game.
Michael, there was, I think about like $300 I spent altogether.
Didn't apply to him because no one wanted to step
Something like
forward
that.
and punish him in the way that gangs punish their members when they violate a rule of that gang.
What's up, Don?
People look the other way. He was one of those inmates who could just.
Zachary, I got out about 8 months ago.
That was PL in my eyes, but he wasn't.
I don't know how many taps I got. I really don't.
We would actually talk a little bit here.
Because they're all blended together, so I don't really. I got them at separate times, but they're like all together, so I don't know.
The upper part kind of resembles like in the mall when you're upstairs and you kind of walk around, but there is a rail and you can look over it and see the people down there. You can walk over it and see the inmates down there. People kind of used it as a walking track, just to get a little exercise.
Damn, y'all was a whole bunch of fucking goofballs in here
Walk with
tonight.
them sometimes. He did this with several inmates, and they would just talk a little bit.
What's up,
One day, we were talking.
901.
Kind of moved
Appreciate you, bro.
We disagreed, and we were having a disagreement as we were walking around. There are a few laps of this
Oh yeah,
disagreement.
I'm so
and
black.
kinda turned
I don't know, man. That's just how they are.
and so as
They're
we
brown.
had this argument, he said something eventually that was more just a big step.
Everybody always says I look like that dude, the football player. I got the Oakland Raiders hat on right now, too.
And it was, just as he said
Good
this,
day,
there was another
sir.
inmate who was walking, and, some inmates, they would go the other direction sometimes. And there was an inmate coming around who was in my way, and so I kind of had to, stop. Couldn't keep pace with PL, kind of stop and let that inmate go.
Justin Turner. Which one is it, Max Crosby or Justin Turner?
Catch right back up with PL, and as I did, I said,
Sock check. How high you sock, fool?
and that's about all I got out of my mouth. And he hit.
And I don't go back and forth with people on here, just so you know, all the people doing that. I don't do that shit through the screen. Sit there and talk shit. If you ain't gonna be in my live sitting there trying to ruin my night. I ain't even about to entertain that shit.
So fast.
Damn, Zach, you just gonna put me out there like that? No, I'm just kidding, bro.
One of my previous videos, I've already been in a fight that made my jaw sound like this. And so this was not good for him.
Look at that. I'm watching these new jumpsuit Pablo videos.
Man, I don't think I've ever been hit that hard in the mouth. And he hit me so hard that, it was a common thing for inmates to kind of take a spare shoestring and they would make a necklace out of it and they would put the key to their padlock that you put in your locker. And so it's a common thing for people to wear that key on a spare shoestring or boot string around their neck, kind of like a necklace. And he hit me so hard that as I rocked, and back stumbling on my feet, it just shot this necklace, shot my necklace with my key all the way off my head. That's how hard he hit me. And as soon as he hit me, he had already turned around and started to walk back in the opposite direction that we had been walking. Who knows where? But what it was, I think that he genuinely looked at me as someone who wouldn't stand up for themselves and was just going to get hit and take whatever was dealt to them and do nothing back. And that was a little offensive. I remember being just for a second, because it all happened so fast, being a little offended that she would think that I wouldn't know. If there was one thing I learned and kind of drilled into my head,
What's up, Ice?
it was that you can't
Appreciate you, Draw.
back here if you'll at least have a little backbone and at least stand up for yourself and try. Even if you get the crap beat out of you, I mean, at least try. The only
No,
way
I don't got a
you
motorcycle right now.
don't do anything. So I did have it in my head, no matter what, I was always gonna at least go into the fight, whether I won or lost. This one I was pretty sure I lose.
Hey, y'all are so funny how you come in somebody's live and stay in the live and say a bunch of crazy shit when you could just keep scrolling. But the fact that you stay in here, I appreciate that. Even if it is just to say some dumbass shit. Because this is just something silly for me to do right here. The fact that I get a paycheck for it is even cooler. It's just a hobby. You know what I'm saying? Making prison-related content and shit. But for y'all to do what you do and come in here and do all that, I just think it's so funny. And I love having trolls. I love it.
Oh yeah? And that's exactly what he said. He said, oh yeah, okay. Come to the bathroom. Because there were cameras in this, because it was a more dangerous cell block. And so they had already put the cameras in there because of how many people
What's
were
up,
in there.
Keegan?
And so I followed him. And I remember
Oh yeah, you tatted too? You from the West Coast, huh? Because that's what they call it out there, blasted.
I was very angry.
We call it sprayed.
I remember kind
Like
of
we'll say, yeah, I'm sprayed. And then I heard you guys call it blasted.
but in reality, I didn't know what I was going to do to this guy. I was,
Yeah, I know. I don't even like calling it Las Vegas Raiders.
But,
I don't like. I've been wearing Oakland Raiders shit since the '90s. That's my football logo, the Raiders, from my high school.
And I remember he had gotten to the bathroom first, and I turned a corner into the bathroom.
My streams are usually not me just sitting there like this. It's usually something to do with my family. Sometimes I'll do it at work. I'll just film at work. Sometimes I'll just film walking around the city. Or sometimes I'll make shorts of my kids. But mostly I do just prison-related topics and shit. It's a little bit of both. It's a combination. Somebody said, what? You drank some breast milk.
Straight ahead, and as soon as I had we kind of wrapped up. This is a very small.
What the fuck is somebody talking about a hot dog? What the fuck are you talking about?
Separating walls for the urinals, and it's very close quarters.
God has a plan for you. I appreciate you. Thank you, bro.
We wrap up.
What you know about space? Yeah, you see them pictures and shit. Yeah, I even got some things about space tatted on me. I like outer space, astronomy, astrology, learning about all of that. I think that shit's interesting to me, for real. What the fuck is going on?
I'm starting to come off of my feet. It's not like the movies, like, some bully when he just, my feet are dangling.
Out in the motorcycle club, move on the inside. Just depends.
He is strong enough to ease
My uncles used to have their own fucking motorcycle thing, but they all got in trouble.
and I believe I was
They all got sent to prison.
my feet were still touching the ground, but I wasn't.
All 10, 6 is the lowest number, and 10 was the highest number. And all my cousins and uncles went to prison for that shit. But I was already locked up, so.
I remember he looks me right in my eyes. He says,
No, not no thousands of dollars for tattoos. But now look, when my son went and got his nose pierced, he got this piece right here pierced, his septum. They said it was like I had $3,000 to $5,000 worth of work, and he said, "How much you think you spent?" And I said, "Like 300 to 500 maybe." And he was like, "Wow." He was like, "That's fucking crazy." But that's because I got it done by people who was fucking strung out on Suboxone and strung out on K2. And they would do a piece on you like this big for $15. However long the COs will let you shoot. COs would be like, you could shoot on second shift, shit like that. And if you can get 4 hours done, then you get that for $15.
I knew the kind of guy he was. He's the kind of guy who.
So I just got lucky with that shit. You from Memphis? That's what's up. Hey, you heard of Jacob Gentry? He's from Tennessee. I mean, you probably don't necessarily know him because Tennessee's big, but he is from your state. And he had 35 years in prison, and he got exonerated after 7. And he was on After Prison Show, and then I was on After Prison Show, and then we linked up together from both being on the show. So we did an interview today. I interviewed him actually, and I'm about to post the content tomorrow. But he's from some small town in Tennessee, and he was all over like y'all's news and shit for being exonerated.
And we wrap up again because still it's such close quarters back here, and he's kind of got against my
at night. Yeah, Ice Flavor saying that. Yeah, appreciate you.
But we're still wrapped up. It's all happening.
Yeah, I'm good.
Fast, but then I remember feeling his teeth.
Oh shit! I just found a person that was trolling me the last time because you just said word for word on the one comment on TikTok. I think you might have been the fucking person trying to scam me. You fucking bitch ass.
They're sliding off because of the material.
Can't stand having a screen between me and people come on here and say shit. Act hard as fuck. Do weird ass shit on the internet.
He couldn't get a grip.
Yeah, I'm about to vote for Trump too.
Not able to dig in yet and really get a good, get his teeth really.
I know I missed some of these, so my bad, man. Whoever I missed comments from, my bad.
One of my other stories, I was already a little bit.
You gotta redo it again.
Because I had a chunk that I showed you that has been bitten out of my chest.
Or if you sent it, you gotta redo it.
Prison I was at. And so this, and I.
Hey, it says message deleted by font. I didn't do that. What the fuck? Do I got my mod in here? I don't know if my mod's in here right now, because somebody's deleting this shit and I'm not doing it. But I ain't seen him on here for a couple days, so if he is, I ain't even know.
Sometimes in fights you just feel things coming, and I felt at this time an uppercut was coming.
Yeah, look, I'm going down. Any tat you regret? Yeah, 2 of my face tats. Just because of where I put them at.
I just had a feeling another one was coming, and I kind of broke away and raised up right as one just whizzed by my nose.
The spade does mean something, but I don't talk about it on here, but it has a reason.
But after that,
a lot of my tats have reasons, and a lot of them don't have reasons. I mean, I got everything from Rick and Morty and Beavis and Butthead to other shit. So I got some sentimental things that mean things. I got other things that mean things, and then I got shit that doesn't mean things.
Not heroes for heroes.
I don't even really, I appreciate you offering me that, but I really don't even need to do that no more, because that's why I quit doing it and just quit caring. I got thicker skin, I just quit caring. And that's why I was confused when I seen shit getting deleted, because the only person I ever made a mod, I haven't seen him on here for a while, but it's saying some shit got deleted and I didn't do it. But if I did do it again, it would have been somebody I see on here like every day that I trusted. But that's the thing, I don't feel like I even need one no more. And my dude Joe, who from After Prison Show, he was the one telling me don't even fuck with that and have mods because they did something to his account and shit. So don't take it personal. What was the name? Don't take it Grumpy. Don't take it personal. But at this exact moment, I decided I ain't doing that because we've been working really hard to get our account where we got it, and I don't really want to. I just want to make sure that if anything gets fucked up, it's because of me and not in the hands of nobody else. So I know you was asking me and shit, and that's cool. I appreciate it. But at this exact moment, I ain't about to let nobody do it. But it ain't nothing against you.
Right when I felt maybe one more time would really knock me out, and then who knows what he would continue doing while I'm unconscious, maybe beat me to death. He stopped, and he walked out of the bathroom. And I'm pretty sure that's because the CO, the officer, was coming around up top at that time to put everyone in their cells, because it was that time of day where everyone just got locked back in their cells for the night. The day was over. And so he walked out. And I kind of stood back up.
No, I ain't one of them wolf guys. My dad was, and he died right before I got out of prison, so that's for him. That's not for me.
Getting back to my cell, didn't ever.
I said to my son, and my mom bought it for me because my pops that raised, so my real dad is still alive, but my stepdad raised me since I was 3 years old, and I don't even want to talk about it right now for real, but he was obsessed with wolves, and my mom seen that and she bought it for me because he died a month, like right before I got out of prison. So I did almost 7 years and then couldn't fucking see him again because fucking died. But I just wanted you to know that I don't even really fuck with wolves and shit like that. He does.
I also couldn't close my jaw. I couldn't close my mouth. I couldn't touch my top teeth to my
I think I got a bunch of little kids in here right now.
And I remember thinking,
what was I in for? Assault on a police officer and robbery.
If I don't wake up to
some dumbass shit.
At least being able to touch
hey, thank you, Chantel.
At least, I mean, I could not touch them together. So if I can at least, click them and, touch them together, I guess I'm just going to have to go.
Somebody thought I was streaming from jail. Like, this is my cell right here. This would be a big ass cell right here. What's up, Tabby? I just seen your name pop up. Hey, if this was my jail cell right here, I'd be I would have been a lot more comfortable than what I was.
I was very close to being beaten to death in prison. There's no really moral of the story you get out of it. It's just a story.
Dang, this is the first time everybody really thought I was still in jail. Nah, that fucking nightmare is over. That shit been over for 8 months. Still don't really feel like it though. Sometimes I get out of bed and I'll sit there on the edge of the bed for like 5 minutes and I'll just think about jail shit. It's crazy because I've been home for a while and I'll sit on the edge of my bed and I'll just sit there like this while I'm half asleep, and I have all these memories fucking running through my fucking head of like my routine. I would get up and do my jail routine and I'll just look around and be like, man, this is crazy. I'm really at the house right now. Like, it'll probably wear off eventually, but it ain't wear off yet.
Enjoy. Let me tell you about an inmate that I met.
Virginia for Trump.
Now, Hustle Man.
What you doing, Tabby?
Black man with a bald head and a big mustache.
Hey, name a car for an edit. What does that mean? People are always saying that shit. So that's some kind of like, what, you're throwing together something and then you get names from people and then you use those names to put together what you're saying? Is that what it is? I'm trying to understand like what it is. I don't get it.
He didn't have much of anything to his name when he came. He didn't have sending him money, supporting him from the outside. Absolutely had nothing when he came to jail. But the reason they called him Hustle Man is
Kamala
supporter.
supporter.
And is how much effort
Felt like I said that wrong.
hustle.
I don't get into the politics shit, but just because we all watched Trump damn near get killed and jumped up and pumping his fucking fist, I'm like, that dude's a G for real. Eating a sandwich, Debbie? What kind of sandwich you eat? And it's not just that for me though. It's the fact that like, yeah, he says some dumb shit sometimes because he's ditzy as fuck. But you know what I respect about that man is that says what he means and he means what he says. And I like that in a person where he just tells it how it is, and if you like it, cool. If you don't like it, fuck it. That's how he is, and I kind of like that, and that's cool. Plus, he obviously got something smart where he's able to make a lot of money and do what he does. I mean, he turned a lot of shit into. Started from what I understand, he wasn't always as rich as he is, so he might be doing something right. I don't know. But if he fucking sends us to war, then I'll feel dumb for saying that. World War III or whatever. I don't know.
Usually the store guys won't do that. Now, if you have a t-shirt that nobody would want to buy, you could probably take a pretty nice t-shirt, and if you got 3 others,
Chaba.
you're really hungry, you could find somebody to buy
If you're not trolling me and you're being for real, then happy birthday, Chicaba. Happy birthday, Chicaba. Stay safe, stay up, and God bless. Yeah, take care of yourself. Lefty, what's up? Ham, provolone, or a potato roll. I don't know if I know what that is. A potato roll.
You would get if it was a fine and clean shirt with no issues. But you can get something to eat for yourself.
Everybody's always asking me about the same shit.
Right then and there.
You want to know that, you can just go look at my videos. I don't talk about it on my live. I ain't allowed to talk about it on my live. Not only because I'm not supposed to, because it's one of our rules and our laws and policies, but also because I could get in trouble. Like, I could legit get in trouble and end up back in jail for talking about that shit. Until December. And then after that, I don't give a fuck. But I don't talk about that shit on live. Because I'm not supposed to promote that shit, because I'm still on the government watch list and all that dumbass, goofy ass shit. So when y'all always asking me about that on here, I'm not trying to talk about it or promote it. You could literally get a violation and go back to prison for that. I'm not even allowed to be around certain people who have STG tags and shit like that, because if we're around each other, not felons, just convicted felons, but other people that are on the watch list. If you're around each other, you automatically get in trouble. Did I go to jail for weed? I wish. Probably would have did like 6 months. Trump, 2024. Yeah, Ricky, you from Ohio? Yeah, you know what I mean, Fallon? You get it? People just don't get shit. They don't, especially if they don't understand like that world, and they just are intrigued by it, or and they're interested and they think it's cool, or whatever the case is, or they're just curious. I mean, yeah, that's cool. I get it. But it's the same questions every time, bro. Like, and they come on here and say that, and then they say I'm wrong or lame or whatever the fuck. Hold on, let me turn it down. Or they'll say either I'm fucking something. They'll try to put me down for not wanting to talk about it when they realize they're just curious. So they're like being nosy for real is all it is. But that's my life, and I could for real get in trouble. Like, if my PO got on here and watch this right now, which is public, and she calls me tomorrow and says, why was you on there talking about that? You know what I'm saying? No, it ain't worth it. So I want her to know and hear me on here saying, don't bring it up. I don't want to talk about it. I ain't promoting it. They know what I am. You guys don't got to know what I am. They already know what I am. It's as simple as that. Dream vacation location. Damn. In the States, and this is gonna sound crazy, but I've only been to one state down south, and it was Alabama, and I loved it, Tuscaloosa, and I fucking loved it so much that I would be cool with that. Oh wait, no, I take that back. I've been to South Carolina. I forgot. Topsail Island. I completely forgot about that. So I've been to South Carolina, I've been to Alabama, and they were both pretty cool. I never been to Florida, and I never been to Texas. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm actually gonna pick Australia, because I always wanted to go to Australia, but I don't know if convicted felons are allowed to go there. Because I just recently found out I'm not even allowed to go to Canada. Yeah, out of the U.S. Okay, so Australia. You want a sleeve of tats? You're lucky. So obviously you don't want to fucking end up in jail, especially if you ain't never been there. So for that, the advice that because I'm saying that because you can get them for so cheap in there. But like out here, you need to find somebody on the streets to shooting tattoos that's decent. You know what I'm saying? Especially somebody who's been locked up and they go home and they're an artist and they just want to shoot tattoos at their house. They'll probably do you a sleeve for like $100. For real, and I'm not even exaggerating. Especially if they're on drugs and shit, which is sad to say that, but that's true. Like right now, I know somebody right now in my city that was in prison. He did 4 years, and he's a really good tattoo artist, but he's kind of got some fucked up things going on in his life. And if a motherfucker called him right now and said, "Hey, I got $60 for you. Can I get a half a sleeve?" He's probably gonna be like, "Come through. Just get me high first, so I ain't sick while I do it," type shit. And then he's gonna get high as fuck and sit there and shoot on you for like 5 hours straight. That's my advice. Cause if you go to a fucking shop, they're gonna charge you like an arm and a leg, dude. No, I'm not. I'm not an AB though. I will answer that. Cause everybody always says that shit, but no. You don't believe you are fun fact Australia? For real? Australia was a prison? What do you mean by that? Like the whole fucking country? I don't get it. Is that what you mean? Like what? The people who lived there were enslaved or something? Is that what you're trying to say? And I know I done missed a whole bunch of comments, so my bad, y'all. Apple buyer. What the fuck? Oh yeah, Tabby, what are you talking about? Mm-hmm. That sick motherfucker on the bike. Was you on? Was you on live? Dude, it wasn't even him. Actually, it was they was trolling me. I ain't gonna lie. I hope that you're being legit and being uh sincere about being curious and sincere about what's the word being concerned. And that's cool if you are, and I respect that you brought that up, and that's cool. But why I say that is that I'm not trusting nobody right now. Like I don't know who the fuck is who now because everything we have is on public. But like I said, if you're just being cool, I appreciate you. But any motherfucker right now in this chat could be the person that was trying to scam us and stole our identity. So to anybody that don't know what I'm getting at, that person who what they just said about the bike, there was a whole ordeal where I was on live and this other person commented and said, "Hey, I know where you and your kids are at, and I want to go swimming with your kids." And I'm like, "Who the fuck is this?" And then they're like, "Well, I live right down the road from you, but I don't want to put you out there because blah blah blah." I'm like, "No, go ahead, say where I'm at then." So they was like, they said the number, and they was down the street though. They named down the street, and I'm like, well, they might know something because they said that. So then they're trolling me and shit. I block them. Like 5 minutes later, somebody else comes in the chat saying, "Hey, don't trust that person. They followed my kids home and this and this." And then it hit me right there, but I didn't say it on live because I wanted to try to fish and see where I could go with it. And I was already thinking, how the fuck does this person know that that's the person who followed their kids home if it's just a random name on YouTube? And what's the odds of two people in my neighborhood? Let's just say they did follow the kids home. And what the fuck does their name on YouTube have to do with that? You guys see what I'm saying? That's weird. So I get suspicious. I block them. Somebody else gets a hold of me on TikTok saying, "Here, call this number and I'll explain." Well, I know somebody who told me that the 12-digit number they tried to give me is like a virus. So if you call the number, it pretty much attaches your phone to their account or whatever. I don't know how it works, but Then they told me what they was doing was taking the photos and videos of me at my house, like walking around my neighborhood and my street, and they were putting it in like a reverse Google lookup image thing. Some crazy shit that must have came out since I was locked up or something. And it will tell you within like a block radius of where somebody's at. So for all y'all don't know that, you could just take a photo, run it through whatever this thing is, and it will bring it up and be like, that's the location in the world, because that's where our technology's at right now, right? Well, they did that. Then they took our fucking photos and what? Alright, I'll be up in like 10 minutes, alright?
Yeah, shut the air off when you come up and let the cat out.
Hold on, chat. I got you. Let it. Alright, I got you. You taking Max up?
Yeah. Come on, Kinley.
Alright, I'll be up in a minute, y'all. Real quick, I just want to finish saying this. They was somebody stole our photos. They put a fake Facebook and then wrote a whole bunch of people, and then was saying shit like pretty much like trying to steal money from my family. And they actually was so damn dumb that they wrote multiple people of mine, like friends and shit, even friends of ours on social media, like my friend and shit, that one of them that's on here. And then like our other friend Carly, we known for years. My little brother, they wrote my little brother and was like, hey, I know that I'm locked up in the joint. Alright, but it was like, yeah, I know I'm still locked up, but you think you could help her buy some school clothes for the kids, and then when I get out, I'll pay you back? And he's like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? That's my real blood brother. And he been home for 8 months, you fucking idiot. So these people, then they done wrote my aunt, my childhood friend Carly. I know at least 6 people who was trolling the troll that was trying to go along with it to pretend. Like I said, I even had my one friend in here that had the same thing going on. So I'm just saying, if you're listening right now, get a fucking life. And you ain't none of my people dumb enough to do that, because they know we ain't gonna be asking nobody for fucking money, and we got our own shit. So why are you, I don't know. We got our own fucking shit, everything. We don't need none. Everyone we knows that we're not gonna text somebody on the internet and say, can I fucking have some money? And oh, by the way, will you buy a gift card, or will you fucking send this to this? Like, that don't even make sense. Y'all weird. Yeah, I got it. I just gotta go do something real quick. I'll be like 30 seconds. Yeah, that's what my shoulder said. I'm sorry, dude. What about what I just explained to you? What's up, Ryan? You really violent. What the fuck are you talking about? I mean, yeah, I've been violent before in my life, but what are you saying about right now? Come on, kitty. Wreck time, kitty. Wreck time. All night wreck. What are you talking about being violent? What the fuck are you talking about? Because I'm on here talking to people on the internet? Yeah, there's probably half of this chat is probably little ass kids, for real. Some of them might not be, though. Hey, I know one thing's for sure and 2 things for certain. I fucking chain smoke like a motherfucker. I can't help it. Ever since the day they let me out of prison, I've been smoking like a pack a day. I was like, what? I ain't gotta have somebody watch out for me and look out for me. I could just sit here and smoke this the whole time and not hope that a CO comes and knocks on my door and fucking writes me a ticket. Okay. And then I just started just chain smoking, and I don't like it. That shit ain't cool. Yup, see, there the bitch is right there saying, want to know the address? Go ahead, throw it out there. Go ahead, do that, because then I'm going to have my motherfucking aunt track your shit, because she's a tech specialist. And I'm going to come get a plane and show up at your fucking house. I ain't going to give nobody your address. I'm the one that wants to know your address. I ain't going to put it on the internet. Matter of fact, I ain't even going to ever tell nobody when I got your address. I ain't even gonna tell my girl when I got your address, cause I'm gonna be the only one that knows it. Little bitch. Kinda not really. Like the job I got right now, it's not right. It's not the right amount. It's literally 4 hours a day. Not good. Temp service shit sucks. But I appreciate you. You must follow my shit enough to know what all had happened with the thing with my other job. It's really hard. Obviously, I'm sure y'all could tell that it's hard for me to get a job. I got violent charges. I'm on the fucking dumbass government watch list, and I got tattoos all over my body and my face. So it's not the easiest getting a job. And I get a job at the temp services. They put me somewhere new like every 2 weeks. For like multiple reasons. Whether it was a reason I did, whether it was a reason that I did, or whether they'll just say, hey, your assignment's done there, but you start here next week. They've did that to me like 5 times since I've been home. It's the same company. Like I don't even have to change none of my fucking information or none of that. They keep the same credit information and all that shit, but it's a different company. So it's like the same company's giving me my payroll, but I'm going to work physically at different places, if you get that. It's weird. And then they make money off me. They make $5 an hour off of me. So every time I work an 8-hour day, this lady, they help get me the job, which is she's a really cool lady, so I appreciate her for real. But she makes $5 an hour off of me. Cat, his name is Mabel, but I call her Maybe Baby, because her name's Mabel. We'll be like, maybe baby. Yeah, flat earth, that shit is real. Now, I don't mind, especially if you come at me respectful like that, because a lot of people are fucking just goofy. I have a video on here if you want to watch it, but the short version is I got 2 cases. One of them was assault on a police officer, and one was robbery. And the first one was because me and my girl had a real bad argument. The cops got called. When they showed up, they got way too aggressive with me, and I elbowed one of them in the face and then slammed the other one and kicked him in the face, and it was all on the fucking body cam. Some dumb shit. Then I pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. My girl and my mom spent $1,000, got me out. While I was out on bond, I fucking committed a robbery doing some stupid shit. And I wasn't living right. I was living different back then compared to what I am now. Like now, I don't do shit. I don't do no crimes or none of that. I don't, you know what I mean? Now I'm just pretty much a family dude. Like I'll spend time with my kids and I do shit around the house, go to work, shit like that. But back then, I wasn't doing none of that. I was just running around with all my guys and doing stupid ass shit in my city, in my neighborhood. Bad shit, stupid ass shit I ain't even gonna get into on here. But that's because I was living wrong back then. I went to prison and it changed my mindset. Like, I got sick of laying in my rack at 4 in the morning, missing my family and shit. And just staring at the ceiling. Reading a book, laying it back on my chest, stare at the ceiling. Read a book for 2 chapters and then lay it back down and stare at the ceiling. That shit's stressful, bro. Like, it's fucked up. It's not good. So I don't do the shit I used to do because there's repercussions for your actions. Like, I know now that everything I do will have a repercussion. You can't go out and act crazy and expect not to go sit in fucking prison. Feel me? Yeah, they make more than that. They probably do, for real. You work for a temp service? Wait, what? Well, I only say that because my job only pays 20 an hour and I get 15 an hour. That's why I say that. But our state, see, I had somebody else say that's crazy because my girl makes $23 an hour. And somebody else was like, that ain't shit. But for real, in our state, it's not that bad. Because the max you can make, I think in our state is, if somebody's making like 27 an hour, then you're like at the top. And for her making $23 an hour, she has people tell her all the time, like, damn, you got a bomb-ass job. So for every state's different. So I'm at 15 and she's at 23, and do the math. So like, people tell her she got a bomb ass job. That's a big ass gap. But my little paychecks, my checks are about like 500. You know what I mean? I get like 480 to 500 a week, and that ain't shit really. But it adds to her good paycheck, so it helps and it balances out. I just pay a couple bills. That's what I do. Like she'll say, "How much was your check?" I'll be like, "It was 480." I'll be like, "What's the electric and what's the water?" She'll be like, "They're each 115." I'll just get on my phone like, boop boop. All right, they're done. She'll be like, "All right," and then I'll go up to the store, buy like a whole bunch of packs of cigarettes, and then that's it. I'll come home, I'll give her a bunch of cigarettes, I'll pay those couple bills, and then I'll have like 50 to 100 in my pocket, and then that'll get spent on random shit, and that's pretty much what my paychecks go to, like legit. Or if she don't want the bills paid, she'll say like, "Give me 100 for school clothes," or just whatever, just random shit. Yeah, why did you just go watch the video? Is that why you said why you work at a warehouse? Because I had that live on there. That was unloading trucks. Tabby, you still in here? And yeah, that was unloading trucks. If you just went and watched it, I don't know, but I'm trying to keep up with these comments, man. I'm 280. My chemical imbalance is all fucked up. My sentence was 6 years, 9 months, and I was only supposed to do 75 months, and I did 81 months. So I'm beyond fucking pissed. I mean, it's over now. Okay, I was just checking. What's up? It's over now, and I'm not gonna fucking like bitch about it now. But you guys realize how hard that was. My time changed 3 times, and I know I did it to myself, so I can't fucking complain and shit. But like, it's whatever. But my first sentence was 18 months, and my second sentence was 6 years ran concurrent. So that's 6 years. But then I ended up doing another 9 months. No, it was actually 6 years, 3 months. Yeah, so in the long run, all my county time got ran consecutive. That's the easiest way to put it. That's because one of my cases had mandatory time. Anybody in here who knows about the law, mandatory time has to stop your other sentence and run first. So because my first case was 18 months, but then they took me back and indicted me from prison and sent me back to the county, when they resentenced me that second time and it had that county time or that mandatory time, that stopped my first sentence, and you have to complete your mandatory time before the other shit kicks back in the computer. Well, where it fucked me is I was already running a DRC sentence and I was fighting a case. Well, they tried to say, well, you can't get credited for county time on a mandatory time. I said, that don't make sense because you guys already gave me a fucking prison number. Just because I'm living in the county jail doesn't mean I'm not still running my prison number. And they're like, you're right. And they actually said, it was like, you're right. This could be used as a case law. And anybody in here who knows what I'm talking about, they legit told me if I would have got a better lawyer that I could have beat the time, and they would have put my name in case law. So like if people would have looked it up on the LexisNexis, it would have had my last name. It would have said the state versus boom, and then put it right there. And then it would have explained my situation for everybody else in the state that's fighting that case. You see what I'm saying? Every time you look at case law and you see that person's last name with the state versus, they use that example as case law. You know what I mean? Shit's crazy. So yeah, they fucked me over and made me do all that extra time. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all probably do know what I'm saying. Yeah, no, I didn't. I got 18 months for assaulting an officer because I beat it with my mental health, because I was laying in my bed sleeping, and she tried to tell him, hey, he got PTSD, night terrors, and bipolar. He'd been diagnosed with that shit since he was 15, and he's drinking. Please let me go wake him up. I got you. And they didn't give a fuck. They didn't listen. That's on body cam. So like, they legit seen these officers come in and get told right to their face, he is kind of fucked up a little bit. So in the head, and he's drinking. So please let me wake him up. They went, nope. Bars right past her and grabbed me by the back of the neck, just snatched me by my neck, tried to yank me out the bed, and I just immediately came up with an elbow, boom, right in the nose. And when he stumbled back like, hey, he hit me and tried to choke me. The other one charged me. I kicked him. He fell down, kicked him again, flipped this one over. My girl said that my eyes turned completely black and I had superhuman strength. And I don't know why, but she said that I was like fighting them and fucking them up like it was nothing. And what's crazy is she said the way my eyes looked, it was like demonic. But that shit isn't cool. But what I'm getting at is they actually could have killed me. I believe those cops could have fucking just shot me in the head right there in the bedroom, and they probably would have beat that shit. But there was no weapons, and the whole time she's trying to like break it, like freaking out and shit, because it's all happening in the house. Thank God we had a babysitter when that shit took place. Thank God. I don't even like talking about this shit. Matter of fact, I want to change the subject. Yeah, they foul. I already know, bro. Hey, but they was both lame ass cops too. I mean, if they ever see this and shit, I'm gonna just tell them flat out, it is what it is. Y'all tried to come in and be on some tough guy shit. Y'all picked the right one because the one was just a little ass dude. Like, he was little. He was a tiny ass man. And the other dude, who was an average size man, he had like a baby face and he just wasn't about that life. So they just sent the wrong fucking troops. Like, they sent. I'm not trying to sound arrogant or a hard ass or none of that, because I'm not. I'm just an average dude. But I have been fighting since I was like a teenager. So that little bit of experience, when that fight or flight kicks in, whether I'm good or bad at it, it doesn't matter. It matters that I'm used to it. Like, I could lose 50 fights in a row, but all that matters is if you got heart and you go and you're used to that feeling of being in a physical hand-to-hand combat. So when these fucking lame ass cops come in there and try to do that, and I just did what I did, it was like I didn't even really feel like I had to trial like that. Nah, they didn't tase me. They didn't tase me. They didn't pepper spray me. They didn't tase me. But they did get me down and beat my ass once they got me down. So once they got me down to the ground, and they started doing like some type of fucking some kind of submission shit. What up? Once they got me down, they beat my ass and gave me 8 stitches though, right here. You know what I'm saying? I do got 8 stitches. It's like right there. I don't think you can see that shit. This is from that. Look. No. Yeah, right there. So look, that whole area right there was gushing. That's the only wound that well, no, I got more than that. I actually had fucking I had a black eye. I had a fat lip. So I woke up confused as fuck though, y'all. Like, and I pissed myself. It's a whole story. I didn't piss myself when it happened. They arrested me, beat my ass some more when they got me cuffed, sent me to the psych unit, and they cuffed me like this to a bed and just left me. So I was in my clothes and I peed while I was drunk. And it's a whole story behind it. I'm definitely not going into the story, but there's a reason why, because I got drugged that night. If you want to know the whole thing, you just gotta watch the video. It's like an 8-minute long video, and it explains why that all took place. And like, yeah, but that's crazy. I don't even know what the fuck I'm like thinking about this shit. It's just all fucking just so crazy, man. I don't even know why all that shit even happened, dude. That was the whole that night that my whole life changed, like right there. It just one fucking thing and my life ain't been the same ever since. Oh shit, somebody said I'm depressing. Black tattoo, yeah. Yeah, it means G-Lock. Alright, y'all. I'm actually about to go lay down, man. I'm about to take a hot ass shower and chill. Cause I don't know, it ain't nobody's fault. It's my fault for sitting here and talking about it. But I just feel like I put myself in a bad mood just now. It's crazy, man. It's nuts, bro. Sometimes I just feel like and I don't give a fuck. Y'all can say I'm a bitch all you want. Sometimes I feel like I just want to cry, bro. It's crazy. But I don't. Like, I don't do that. I just hold it in. But what is crazy, like, what's really hard is that my pops died while I was gone. My fucking grandma Ellen died. And then my dog died. Like, it's just crazy. But I did that to myself by going to jail. But, like, then my kids, dude. My kids grew up. It's crazy. They just grew up without me and shit. It's nuts, bro. They was like this big when I left, and now they be yelling at me and shit, screaming at me and shit. They're like fucking teenagers. It's crazy, dude. I suggest all y'all think of that. Like, when you think about shit and you about to do shit. Yeah, I know, Tabby. I see that. I see they are. When y'all see shit like that, and you see like people that are you think about shit like that in your life that you might end up going to jail. Remember that the main thing, if you got family, they will die and people will grow up without you. Like, that's the main thing. I'm about to get off though. Hey Tabby, good night. Yeah, have a good night, alright? And then everybody else too. I just know you're the only one in here that I actually know that I've talked to. Well, I have recognized a couple other people in here. I'm out of here, y'all. Good night. Stay safe, stay free. God bless.